like this was after the battle we started. Mr. Dale carries Ramon around on his shoulders. At that point, he was blind. He was hearing the baby cry. We kind of asked more questions about the baby. We established that it had like white fur, horns, and hoofies, and it was like a female. Ras managed to pick up magical reagents from the body of the old beast that was killed. Delilah was there, and she was screaming and thrashing about, saying she had to have the baby. The barracks at the site were filled with animal smells, piled up with Basque mead. Jean tries to command the soldiers to not speak of the baby, but that was a fail. When they reach town, Ramon gets his vision back. There's tables and chairs all around the town square. It looks like Lady Brianna was instructing the town to set up for a festival. Let's see. Jean goes away from the rest of the group. Everybody noticed she has a kid, and she reports to Mar Grunstrok, reporting what happened. Delilah is locked up. Rutherford talks to Lady Brianna about her little festivity that she's making. After that, we make our way to Matilda, and at that point, she warns Jean and the group that it wasn't safe, that it needed to drown. And at that point, we noticed that the thing was at a toddler size, which it wasn't at before. Matilda and Ramon say that it's not a child, kind of referring to it as like a child of a cuckoo bird. Jean reluctantly gives the child to Ramon, and she starts hearing voices saying that it was calling her a sister and they have a destiny together. Ramon takes the child away and goes to drown it. And while he's on his way there, he manages to encounter Jeb, who wants the kid, and they start off a magical battle. Meanwhile, Matilda tells the group that someone is using dark magic, but it's been a while since Ramon has come back. Jean goes off on her own on the horse with the others following behind. Meanwhile, Ramon has an intense battle with Jeb and manages to kill him. Genevieve manages to get there, but he was kind of already dead at that point, and we kind of ended there.
You missed one very important point.
What?
Ramon killed the kid already.
Oh, he did? That's what I wanted to ask last session, if he killed the kid already.
He killed the kid in the middle of the battle with Jeb.
Yes,
Okay.
It was a double homicide, and we were all accessories.
Okay. All right.
I also like
too.
during the recap that you started off calling it a baby, and then halfway through you called it, and kept with it.
Well, because I wrote baby in my notes, but then I started calling it because I know it's an evil thing, man.
Okay, cool. So I actually think our first scene is moments after Jeb explodes into shards of meaty bits. It's Rasmussen and Rutherford are arriving on the scene in their ox cart, while Genevieve, you're of course a few feet away from the explosion and lying in the snow. Your horses run off towards the river, and Ramon, you are standing over the body of a dead, of a demon thing. So, what do you guys do?
I think the last thing that we left off on was that I said, "What are you doing here?"
So Genevieve kind of looks at him and she says, I don't know if you answered this, but she kind of looks towards Jeb and she's like, "Is he dead?"
Seems so.
Can I get a closer look at the body?
It is sure there's some probably nearby or on you.
Well, remember, he also froze
because-
himself as ice for a bit there, too.
Yeah. Some of it is ice, some of it is more fleshy. But it's certainly not like doesn't pieces look strange, but you can tell they're part of a human at one point. Maybe
Yeah, she looks at Ramon and she says, "How did you kill him?"
Extreme amounts of force applied liberally across his entire body until he was dead.
She looks at him and she says, "I don't believe you."
I mean, why wouldn't you believe me?
Because the last time we pretty much killed him. He just turned into snow.
Right, well, now he's ice, which is the harder version of snow.
But yeah, but now there's meat and flesh. That didn't happen before.
Good to know. I mean, I'm not certain what you're accusing me of here.
I'm just wondering how you managed to kill him.
With fair amount of force applied liberally across... I've said this already. What are you asking me?
Do we, upon arriving on the scene, do we see his head anywhere?
no, there's no big pieces. All you really gather, because you guys didn't actually see the Jeb. You see like kind of what looked like might have been a meaty explosion, but there's not the blood you would expect there, right? So kind of get it was. I described it as icicles, but in my mind, it was like a shattering of pop, if that makes sense.
So I guess upon arriving on the scene, we survey the area. What the hell happened here?
Jeb came at me from the woods demanding the thing. I applied force liberally across his entire body until he was dead. I suggest that you start a fire.
I agree. And Rasmussen will start to collect fire.
I am
Okay.
going to continue what I was doing before, so I am going to leave you people behind.
Yes, and
Why are we starting a fire?
Oh, to burn the remnants of Jeb's body. He reformed himself from snow, as you told me before, so if there's any chance that this fleshy bits could reform themselves back into a person, you probably want to cremate them now while they're still separate.
You seem to know a lot of things.
I do know a lot of things. It's my job, sir.
I'm gonna take up on that offer and like literally gather Jeb's remains so that we can burn them because she doesn't know if Jed's dead. Like she can't. She's seen him come back, so she doesn't know.
Jen, make sure to treat his remains with as much disrespect as you can muster.
She says that, well, he's in pieces, so there's not really much respect given to him.
When he's all a pile put together, we'll make sure to spit on it before we light it up on fire.
She turns to him as she's picking up pieces and she's like kind of gathering it, and she's just like, I never asked before, what was your relationship with Jeb anyways?
Unpleasant.
He's a criminal.
He's far more than that. Let's just say that this peg leg is in part due to Jeb and I crossing paths.
I mean, I'm not there anymore, but I want to point out of character, you repeatedly get hit in the leg. It seems like everybody aims for your legs.
It looks like a weak spot.
It is a recurring theme, unfortunately, for
Yeah.
you.
If you get critical injured, it's always a kneecap for some reason.
Yep.
So they could see the okay, so Ramon, we will assume your actions, which we will not go into detail, are
Right.
successful.
My 3-point plan that's not going to be named, but know that there's 3 points to the plan. So
He does have the spreadsheet and the PowerPoint. They're just unnamed.
well, the thing
No
is that
PowerPoint.
we all know that I can't go into it because it's not mentionable. Because no reason to make people uncomfortable. But I will be upset if this baby comes back because my 3-point plan is infallible, and I will defend it unwordedly.
Well,
If the baby
I
comes
don't.
back,
I don't need to know it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I don't need to know it. So take what hints you need to from that. I don't need to know your plan. It is as far as you can tell, successful. But you will suffer 2 corruption just for being close to it for long enough.
That's fine.
The fire, as you guys gather the fire and you throw the jebsicles into the
The jebsicles. I love it. That's my new favorite word.
when you think you hear screams, but you're not sure. Oh, sorry, they melt into nothingness. And the hour is approaching late in the day, and you all know you are due back for the festivities. But I believe the entire reason we were out here didn't somebody need healing?
I mean,
Or am
I now need healing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he needs.
Yes.
I thought it was
I do this too.
Ras that needed healing.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at now.
I mean, in
Okay,
the course
I'm
of
looking at
in the course of events, I have become moderately wounded. So
Yeah, you need to be healed again.
Fortunately, you're busy at the moment.
yeah, I'm just pointing it out.
I don't remember. I don't remember why I ignored 2 skill ranks, but I'm just gonna leave it there, assuming something happened last session that I completely forgot about.
Probably, I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark here. Knowing you, Genevieve, you've crit failed a skill roll at some point.
Probably.
You can probably just scroll up a little bit and find it. I think it had to do with the baby, though.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Awareness
You're right.
roll. I'm seeing a crit fail right there.
Yeah. It was the baby. You're all right. All right. I am I'm lightly wounded, so I think you guys need the healing more than I do.
Yeah, I'm at ignore 3 skill ranks and seriously wounded. I can.
So
I am currently grievously wounded, which means that if somebody looks at me too hard, I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
so
guys.
I'm hearing that I could take out this whole party in the woods and nobody would know.
Man, you're a murderer, aren't you?
I am. I'm
And
in
do you
fact a
have-
baby murderer. No, I'm probably a small child murderer at this point.
demon children don't count, I guess.
Well, you just used the word children to describe it, so
So God, it's all right. Fine, demon creatures don't count.
Demon spawn.
Demon clone.
Yeah. You know, I'm not one to normally say I told you so, but I would like to point out the fact that right from the get-go, Ras wanted to kill that thing, so I told you so.
I also want to point out where you dialed it back and took it all back. And now back forwards again to I told you so.
What point did I take it back? I never took it back.
After everyone
That's the
jumped on you for saying murder the child, and you're like, well, you know what, maybe you're right. I'm pretty sure, though, you also said, if this turns out to be true, I'll tell you so. So here we are.
It all
Okay.
comes back in a circle.
So for other people who were at Matilda's after burning the jebsicles, did anyone have an actual injury, or did we manage to avoid those?
Busted kneecap.
Right, of course.
Yeah, I think he was the only one. I don't remember any other one.
Luckily, I didn't get my beautiful face or.
Ooh,
that
okay.
case.
Let's see.
Right, did I use the points from last session? I think I did. Oh, no, I did.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's
Okay.
like we were able to level stuff up one at a time every session before, but now it's gonna be like one every 2 sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Aha. Okay, Rasmussen.
Yes.
You must 21 days before your injury. Any day you're able to spend in bed rest counts as double.
Well, okay.
Okay, so you will have a busted knee until you do so. Everyone else who needs bandaging, so she will obviously bandage you. That's a success. So move one step up in healing.
Everybody?
No, that is just for Rasmussen.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a chance you can be infected. So,
Oh,
Nice.
God. Oh,
um,
God.
Oh, also, did you change the turn order after our rolls?
no, because that would have been smart. I'll do that right now.
It's like I just noticed my number was wrong. I was like, wait a second. Is Marsha still
Oh.
alive?
Yep,
I keep,
Marsha's still alive.
keep forgetting her.
She's Brienne's tool now.
Bran of Tarth?
Lady Brienne.
To make a card for her. I need to actually make these cards during downtime at some point or during the week. Okay, who else needs healing? Who is at Matilda's? So that does not
I-
include. What are you currently at? Health-wise?
Seriously. No injury.
Okay. Do not heal today. She is not able to help you. And finally, Genevieve.
I'm
How are
at.
you?
I'm lightly wounded.
Okay. Auto success. So
Cool.
just go up to 4.
Are you saying that I don't rejoin them?
You do later. So I don't imagine they will have time to
I
bandage you.
will.
So yes.
Let's say I will give you this much information. My plan would take exactly as long as them doing their thing would be.
So you can definitely join them back.
Right. Well, I need healing. That's my point.
Okay. How badly wounded are you?
Moderately.
Moderately. Okay. So this is. No. She cannot help you. She tries, but ultimately, you do not feel any healthier after being doctored.
How long does it take to naturally heal?
Does it actually have that in this game?
It has to.
It does not.
I doubt it.
No.
We'll die slowly.
Well, I know you
Yeah,
can bleed
you just-
out pretty easily.
Yeah, there's got to be a natural. I'll double check, but the way the rules are written as is you can be bandaged once per day, which can heal you 1 step. So I imagine it would be something ridiculously slow, like 1 step a week without treatment.
You know, out of character note here, we're kind of a bunch of self-centered murder hobos if you think about it.
But are we?
Yeah,
I am not a hobo. I
Not-
own a town. Genevieve is
Sort
not a
of.
hobo. She has an abandoned house.
Okay, you two guys just wandered in. You just happened to come into power. I'm just saying that if you think about it, the fastest way to solve this mystery would just to be to murder the 4 people left on the list and get it over with.
Look, I feel like it's 10 times more complicated than that.
You say that, but it's like playing one of those games where, like, oh, here's a list of people. Well, what if we just got rid of all the people?
Look, I feel like something lives in the mountain, and it probably is causing all this nonsense.
We get the Lord to summon all 4 of these people into one place. We shut the barn, we burn it, and we make sure nobody escapes. Boom. Problem solved.
Yeah.
We're
I feel like
probably
that,
gonna
if that were the
destroy-
solution, it would seem like the solution, and then there'd be everything will be revealed, and then it goes to black. But like nothing will be solved.
I
So
have
we're
a
just all
feeling
red
it's,
herrings. They're all red herrings.
this festival is going to be a giant sacrifice.
Don't say that.
I have a feeling. I don't know why.
Who are we sacrificing?
I don't know.
Maybe we did the sacrifice already.
Oh my god. 127 IQ thought. You're
What,
brilliant.
we're gonna make the Philosopher's Stone? Is that what your thought is?
No, we already made the sacrifice. We killed the baby.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's dumb. That's dumb because Brutus would have just killed the baby himself. Why did he save the baby if he was planning to kill the baby? Obviously the baby wasn't ready to be sacrificed yet, thus us killing it means nothing. If it was in fact a sacrifice, which obviously it wasn't, because that makes no sense.
No, I think it makes a lot of sense that it would have been sacrificed, but I believe that it needed to follow a particular ritual. What we did was make sure that that ritual was incapable of being completed because we killed it in the not ritual fashion.
Or maybe it
Did-
needed to grow a little bit more since it was growing so fast.
It was
That's
a thing.
also very-
It was a thing being brought into this world. You don't bring a summon into this world. I'm sorry, you don't bring a sacrifice into this world. You sacrifice to bring something else into this world. That's just not the order of events. It doesn't make sense.
I don't know. Some things in this world don't make sense.
There's beast people. Nothing makes sense.
Everything makes sense. You just got to put it into context.
There's witchmen. It makes no sense.
All I know for sure is this world is better off with that thing being dead.
Is
We
it?
should just leave.
Says the not hobo.
Look, this is property now. You can't just leave.
Now, we still have a lot of work to do on this town. First, there's the festival. There's also the tithe, which we have to figure out how we're going to end up paying that.
I thought we already paid it.
No, in fact, you did not pay it. In fact, it's overdue.
Oh, it's just overdue. Okay.
You bribed a guy, basically, to give you a couple more days.
That's exactly. So we bought some time. So now, wait, are we having this discussion within earshot of anybody else, or are the 4 of us just sort of off in a corner?
We're in Matilda's hut.
Is there anybody other than Matilda that's there?
No, it's just her.
Genevieve's brother is here, and
No, he's not here.
Elja's just outside.
The green man's on the roof.
If we
Horseface is smoking right next to Elja.
if the taxman were to have an unfortunate accident, that may buy us even more time.
Sure, that'll look great. The taxman came to tell you that your tax is late, or your tithe is late, and he just never came back again.
Well, no, what I'm saying is it buys us time so that we can gather the tithe and then we deliver it personally to the ground.
As a reminder, did not the taxman also come with an escort?
I don't
Yeah,
recall him having
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he had a knight with him, and
No, you're thinking of the notary.
Oh, yeah, the notary. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm
You're
pretty
right.
sure, though, he came into town with somebody, and then he wandered into the inn looking for us on his own.
I don't remember the taxman having anybody with him, although I'll be honest, I could be wrong. But
Well,
I
the thing
don't
is that he represents the authority, so he's not allowed to just wander around on his own. He has to have somebody to back up his authority, and it's not going to be him. He's a pudgy little guy.
Whoever said this was the actual Taxman?
Well, didn't he say that? He showed up saying, "I'm here to collect the tithe."
You might remember he
didn't
showed you a
have
document.
loader. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't
but you,
remember.
of course, you couldn't read it, so who knows? Maybe it was false.
Yeah.
What I'm
Yeah.
saying is, the taxman has an accident. The creepy little leprechaun can take care of whatever assistance he may have. Use your mojo or whatever,
Where's the
and that
leprechaun?
buys us time. You.
The goblin.
God, you guys got to get your fantasy races in order. For one thing, to insult me, choose one uninsult, go with it. Two, how many other ties do you think are late that have all had this idea? Let's kill the taxman.
Well, given that there's a civil war going on, I'm pretty sure that a lot of places are late with the tithe. So I'm not saying we don't pay it at all. I'm just saying we buy ourselves time to collect.
How many places do you think he's made an example of to make sure that this sort of shenanigans doesn't play out?
You forget, there's a brand new Graf in town. He hasn't had time to secure his authority yet. That gives us a small window in which we can pull this crap off.
He's in fact secured his authority. He's in place.
Yeah, they killed the last graph.
Who said that?
It's obvious.
Sure. There's a lot of things that are obvious that we don't act upon or say out loud.
Well, then what's your plan? How do we get this done?
Give him the head of
He-
not Brutus, but the other one, and tell him that it's a magical talisman worth billions.
Do we have anybody in town, follow me here, that can take hay and spin it into gold?
Can you?
Tell me where Silskin's race. Tell me what it was. I'll answer if you can answer me that in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3.
Well, wasn't he a
2,
creepy little
1.
leprechaun too?
Nope, and you're off.
Was he also a garden gnome?
No.
He was a garden gnome.
No, he was not a garden gnome.
He totally was a garden gnome. I believe it in my heart of hearts.
So what's our next move? I'm gonna try to stay in bed for as long as I possibly can because
Oh, we can't
my
do that. We
knee
have to go.
We gotta go to the festival, right? To see if anything crazy happens, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm just saying, a festival is a perfect opportunity for a taxman to fall flat on his face.
We should poison him.
I don't feel like we'll just kill the taxman. Taxman's job is just to collect money, and that's it. That's just his job. It's like all we got to do is figure out how to pay the tills. I thought we had the money for it.
We have some money, yeah. I don't think we have nearly enough.
How much is it? Is my question. Did you ask?
Well, he presented it in the document, but I don't remember what it said.
I think only Rutherford hit the document.
It's a lot. It's the problem.
Saw the document. So I don't think any of you know precisely how much.
I could be wrong, Nick, but I believe that Rutherford had Rasmussen read him the document. Didn't
Remember having him read his titles, but I don't recall it. You reviewing.
Oh, you know
any-
what? I think you might be right. That might have been what I was thinking of.
Well, I
Because
got
I have it written down. Sorry.
Yeah, when we get back to the festival, I recommend Rutherford to talk to the taxman to see what the document says so that we know how much we owe. That's what I recommend.
That always looks.
Correct.
I mean, that always looks great. Hey, you're late on your bill. How much was
is
the
it?
bill again? We don't have it. I've had this discussion with you before. But just for argument's sake, how much was it that we don't have? That I've already told you I know that we don't have because I know how much it is.
I know that we had roughly 50 gold that we had collected from somewhere or other. So we've got that, but whether that's enough or not is anybody's guess. Personally, I don't think it's going to come close to covering.
Look, I suggest you find out, because if you don't know what the price is, then how are you going to know you've already paid for whatever bills you got to pay for?
I have in the back of my head this notion of 200 gold. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Does that sound
So in my notes, I literally have written down they still have no idea how much the tithe is.
Oh, okay, so there you go.
See? Find out how much it is, because if we don't know how much it is, we are never going to get anywhere with this situation. Just find out.
That's a very good point.
The greatest part about your note there is that even as Alexandre, I didn't know how much the tithe was. I just never had any intention to pay.
Yeah, right. So realistically, like Alexandre did know, I never like wrote, but we never talked about it.
Right.
So those.
Alexandre had his own plans in mind, which may or may not still be in motion.
Either way, I still think we should find out how much we owe, because...
Well, maybe... Do you want me to go talk for him, since I'm your jester? And it'd be funny as hell if you didn't know, right?
I mean, I'm willing to talk to him. You can talk to him. I don't care, as long as we find out how much it is.
Realistically, I think the only person who's going to get that information is going to be Rutherford directly in conversation with the taxman.
Right, but that would make him look a fool.
3 skill ranks.
Well, he could also just, word it up. He could say, like, oh, I just wanted a second look at it to make sure that, I've covered everything.
Hey, Rutherford, can you read yet?
What if we get Brienne to ask?
Can you read yet, Rutherford?
I don't know. Can I type something?
I don't know what you mean by that. That's literally over my head.
I don't know.
I'm not asking if Griffey can read. I'm asking if Rutherford can read.
No.
Look, take Ras with you. Just drag him. I mean, you have a perfect excuse. He's your your servant or whatever he is exactly to you. So Ras can go up to the guy and just be like, hey, I work for so and so who owes you the money. I just want to look at the document really quick. I don't need it from you. You quickly read it, you come back, and you tell us how much we owe.
That works for me.
It's not that hard.
We're gonna actually have to drag you, though.
Well, yeah.
We'll wheel you there.
So we're gonna go do that first, and then deal with the party.
Okay. So who exactly is going into town? And is it just all you with it breaking up, or like who is
Rasmussen will go.
I'm going into town.
I mean, why would I not go to town?
So it already starting to get late. Arrive into the village. We're closer to the outskirts of the village, where all of Lady Brienne's friends have been displayed. They've been put on top of different pieces of furniture with like plates or pillows beneath them, all the way lining into town. And most of the town people have gathered in the square. They all look miserable and cold. The festivities have yet to start from what you can tell. Although people are gathering.
What do I see set up?
There's a couple areas like they've been cleared for dancing, but due to the snow, they've been sort of gotten snowed over a little bit. There's a few tables out which you assume might have had food on them, but instead they're packed filled or should have food on them. Instead they have various different skulls of Lady Brienne's friends. You don't see anything extremely suspicious about the setup, but this is not anything like the festivals this town has had in previous years.
Yeah. I saw gloom and gloom.
I guess we just kind of mosey on past everyone and go to the inn real quick.
Yeah. Inside, you see Lucius in the back looks like he's cooking something, making something. Smells like his usual potato and water stew. On the bottom floor, you can see the taxman with a beer in hand. He's sitting there drinking. He's currently by himself.
I will approach him with Rasmussen. What was his name again?
Hold on. I don't see.
No one will be able to stay in their seats.
There you go. Yes, sorry. Gaston Belvier.
Gaston Belvier. Gaston Belvier, you look lonely. Here, please sit with my friend Rasmussen and go over the tax forms. I must retreat to my room and prepare for tonight's festivities.
He opens his mouth and closes them again quickly. He goes, all right, good night.
Master Belbeer, how are you this evening?
Oh, right, fine. Well, I guess.
I'm here as instructed by Lord Rutherford to get the details of what the town owes the Graf in terms of the tithe so that we can get into the specifics and prepare what we owe. Do you have the document?
Yes. She spoke to. Let me see. You know, of course, the tithe amount was increased, and including a call for a feudal levy. And he
how many bodies?
Quite 25 bodies, and a payment of 750 gold pieces, or grain and other commodity valued as such.
Rasmussen is writing things down with a quill just to make sure that there's some specifics here.
You have found the necessary funds, then?
We're in the process of preparing it as we speak. A full accounting has not yet been completed, but rest assured it won't be long. As you know, we've been somewhat preoccupied. The feudal levy will probably take place in the morning after tonight's festivities. We'll see how many bodies are still in fighting form, as you will. And as for the funds or other commodities, as I said, we're in the process of gathering it all for your perusal and approval.
He looks around and says, "Very well."
Okay. In the meantime, if you'll allow, for your patience, I'd very happily purchase your evening's drinks on my account.
Says, "Oh, that would be great. Thank you."
My pleasure. Indulge. A man of your importance should be able to enjoy himself from time to time.
And he does as such.
Excellent. I'm gonna drink with him for a little while, but I'll be sure not to imbibe anywhere near as much as he does. I will, however, continue to encourage him to drink.
Okay.
Is there
you
any
must
chance at all that he becomes inebriated to the point of passing out?
sure make a challenging resolve test. Oh, routine. You're trying to not.
I thought you were shooting for alcohol poisoning.
I'm sorry, you said it was a challenging what test?
Routine.
Toughness, and
Oh.
routine.
A routine toughness. Okay.
Yes. Oh no, there is a resolve, but this is a different game. I'm getting my games mixed up now. Yes, toughness is different.
So many games.
You're unable to drink him under the table, but you successfully avoid uh getting drunk yourself.
Okay, very good. And what state is he in then by the time we're done?
He is in a happily drunk state. He is drunk but not over the top. Got a good butt.
Excellent. Okay. So once he's at that point, I'm going to wish him a very pleasant evening and a good night's sleep, and we'll see him in the.
And on the way out, you stab him in the kidney.
He
No,
says,
no.
"Oh,
Yeah, go on.
Lady has invited me to the festivities tonight."
Excellent. You should absolutely take advantage of that. It's likely to be quite the scene.
Excellent. Mm.
All right.
Um,
So with that, I'm immediately going to go and try to find Rutherford.
Okay. Is there anything that Ramon slash uh, Genevieve were doing during this time that's interesting, or anything interesting they want to take up? And Rutherford, did you do anything interesting, or did you just hide in your room?
I hid in my room and I fussed around with my nice clothes, get them all perfect. Yeah.
Excellent.
I literally just imagined that I was in the inn with all of them. I just wasn't doing anything.
I'm not really doing anything. I'm probably just outside, kind of watching everything, the crowd, seeing the mood, making sure everything is calm for now.
Okay. Why don't you give me a routine awareness test, Genevieve?
Okay.
Here comes that crit fail.
Don't do this to me.
Called it. There's one person in this party that's gonna crit fail anything. It's not the one person who literally can't crit fail anything. That's Rutherford, right?
Something distracted me, right? Please tell me just something distracted me. Oh my god, he rolled something. I'm terrified.
You got some
Mental peril.
mental peril.
Again? I'm gonna
Oh.
faint. I'm gonna
Are you
faint.
are you incapacitated?
Okay, wait, hold up. That was 7, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember how much I lost before. Crap. I think it was enough for me to hit 2. I think I'm still up. Yeah.
Genevieve, such a soft soul.
I'm gonna faint at some point. I know it's gonna happen.
Happens to you every
Everyone should
time.
pass out tonight.
So Genevieve, you start getting nervous because you don't see any of your soldiers around.
Oh my god, really? Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, I do have something I want to do while I'm just sitting around in the tavern.
What did you want to do? Well, Genevieve,
There was that tome that I was given.
yes.
Yes, that's true. I forgot about that. That's a good call.
And yeah, I couldn't read before actually, but now I can.
Make a folk either an education roll at a challenging at a challenging, or a folklore roll normal. However, the information you get from education will be better.
I would say usually I would assume that would be the other way around, because education is the flip to fail skill, whereas folklore is anybody could do it.
And I want that challenging, not whatever I said. So
You said challenging.
Okay, yes, that's what I meant. Okay, education challenging, but the information is far better, or folklore normal, but the information is less, is not as useful.
Let me just double check something right here. They don't have any bonuses or anything. No. No, okay. Fortune pool.
All right, spend it.
Cool, that didn't get any better. And that was an either or thing, right? I couldn't now folklore it.
No, you can definitely folklore it now if you can get it with folklore.
Alright, I'm trained in both education and folklore, so. Alright, can I fortune pool this one?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Sorry, guys.
I'll take it.
Go hard.
There we go. Jesus Christ. Better than a half.
Yeah, wow. You rack your brain thinking. Where have you seen this symbology? You haven't read about it. You haven't studied it. So you start marking off the abyssal princes you know. This probably isn't the abyssal prince of pleasure, the one you are most intimately familiar with. This doesn't seem to be the workings of the other one, of violence, pestilence, or change, I believe. Maybe it's chaos. And you start racking your brain and thinking, and then you remember a story. It was from a long time ago. Um, the abyssal princes exist as they might, and as they try to exert influence on our world, they also battle amongst each other constantly. And the stories is they have a single progenitor, um, the man, the all-seeing eye, and it is a force of nature and violence. At its core, the stories say help form our world, and why the abyssal princes will eventually reclaim it. Um, the followers of this, you don't know of many cults that particularly follow this god. He's fairly rare, but you do have a name, so if you want to take extra research into him, you at least know where to start.
Right. The AO of Chaos Gods.
Hmm.
I don't actually have what you say AO's name. I just always say AO myself.
Yeah, they call him the Abyssal Eye is what he is known as for now. is what you remember the story is telling him as.
All right, that's all I get from this tome.
Yes and no. It can also teach you a petty generalist magic of your choice.
Of my choice. Sure, I'll take it.
Okay, that is 3 corruption if you wish to take that petty magic from the book.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, nothing inherently evil about magic. And since it's not a specific sphere, it's not like petty, necromancy or whatever. It's just literally generalist. So 3 you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So just imagine I'm in the background of Rasmussen's scene, just reading a book.
And to the more astute observer, the book is also reading you.
Well, when you stare into the pages of a book, the book stares back.
No. Okay. Genevieve, did you want to do anything with the information you got?
I think I'm gonna go up to one of the. You said they were armless, right? They didn't have no weapons on them.
Who?
The soldiers.
You don't see any of your soldiers.
Oh, none of them. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna start looking for them, see where they are.
Okay. So it doesn't take very long if you're just looking to gather that they're not at the duty station, the Rune Hut. They're not staying at the manor where they set up a temporary sort of headquarters or place for soldiers to sleep. You haven't found any of them. They're just not here.
Like nowhere in town, even in like the jail cell where Dahlia is supposed to be.
No, and Dahlia is not there either.
Okay, I'm gonna run back to the inn at seeing this. I'm so upset. Okay, I'm gonna faint. Yeah, I'm running back to the inn to warn the others.
Okay, Rasmussen, you are unaware of the impending storm of Genevieve coming at you. What are you doing?
Well, once my drinking with Gaston is finished, my plan was to make my way out and find Rutherford. But if I leave the inn and I see Genevieve coming, obviously I'll wait and see what.
Well, you saw Rutherford leave to go to his room, so you know where he's at.
Yeah, you can go get him.
I thought he had left the inn, but if he's in his room, okay, that's fine. That's easier.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hiding.
find him before Genevieve gets.
Okay, so I'll go knock on his door and ask if I can.
Yes. Come in. Come in.
All right. So, Rutherford, we have a problem and an opportunity. The tithe that's being demanded is as follows. There's a feudal tithe, a feudal levy of 25 bodies that we're going to have to muster if we're going to pay this. So that's 25 people of fighting age that we have to turn over for the feudal levy. Along with that, we have to raise 750 gold pieces or grain or equivalent commodities of equal value. Now, I tried to get Gaston blind drunk. My idea was that it would give us some options, not least of which shoving a knife in his brain. But that didn't happen because the bastard can drink. That said, He's supposed to attend the festival tonight, so that may offer us some additional options. Whatever it is we're going to do, we need to move fast.
Giving all these people away is going to... There's not even that many people in the town anymore that are that age. Everyone's dead.
And as far as I can tell, I don't think there's enough goods of any worth or value that we can turn over that's going to come close to covering the tithe.
Yeah, this village isn't even worth 750 gold coins.
You know
Perhaps
what we might be able to do is, if we somehow remove him from the equation, we can write up our own tithe document and change the numbers. And then when we present the tithe to the graph, we present the false document along with it, and whatever discrepancy there is, we just tell them that we paid whatever we were instructed to pay, and that somewhere along the line there must have been a miscommunication with the taxman and whatever graph authorities there are, wherever he's getting his orders from.
it's not a bad idea. Going back to basics.
I'm also wondering if we're the only community that he's approached for collecting the tithe. If he's been anywhere else, chances are he's got that tithe that he collected elsewhere stashed somewhere, whether it's in the town or outside of it. If that happens to be the case and we can get our hands on it, that's another way that we can sort of pass ourselves off as loyal subjects to the graph. And of course, skimming a cut for ourselves.
Yeah, either he came all the way up the river and is starting with us, or he started down by
Well, I mean, he came from Skarnsburg, right?
by Skarnsburg and collected the things on his way here.
So if that's the case, we just got to find where the hell he put his stash and get our hands on it.
Only he would know that.